And what is going on, guys? Welcome to Double Tap, a Mashless Button podcast dedicated to the FGC. I am one of your hosts, Meza, and I'm, of course, here with the one and only Static Gorilla. What's going on, sir?
What's up? What's up? Hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm chilling. Immediately back from NEC. Had a good weekend. Witnessed a homie get third. So close to getting first again, but that's all right. I am Static Gorilla, and we got a lot to talk about. How about you?
Oh man, yeah, no, I'm good. That's it. Yeah, the Game Awards. That's all I'm gonna say. But before we get into that, guys, we want to just thank everybody for tuning in and listening. And of course, we're gonna have some things that we're gonna talk about, such as some of the poll stuff that you guys brought up before, and we're gonna break some of that down, as well as unfortunately, we're not gonna have Crash Tag with us this week because my man is still out for a bit.
Hey, oh, sorry, he'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back shortly.
Yeah, he's coming back. He's not going to be gone too long. But with that being said, guys, we're going to jump into the Double Taps podcast poll stuff information. We did ask
that is
your
the name
thoughts,
of the show. Sorry.
Podcast polls. We did ask your thoughts on Capcom's $6 Street Fighter 6 costumes. So starting with the question of the week, right? So without being able to directly purchase $6, what are your thoughts on Capcom's $6 Street Fighter 6 costumes without being able to directly purchase $6 in fighter coins? Before we get into that, how did you feel about that game? Because I know that was something we kind of didn't really.
Oh, I didn't purchase it. I'm not buying them.
Okay, me neither. I think it was
not at all. Yeah,
it's disgusting. But from some of our viewers, we did have from Gamma Man. Did I say it right? Gamma Man? This sucks big time.
Gamma
Man? Oh, okay. You got all those names. Yeah, this sucks big time. It's like you give an inch and they take a mile. They mile type deal. It makes me feel like I'm being punished for wanting to support the game. Rob Mahik. You can say that better. Like it's Mahikis.
Mahikis?
Did I say it right? Mahikis? Okay. I think the cost is fine, but the practice is kind of scummy. We'll still be buying the Jamie outfit. I've seen this kind of from a lot of people. They do it in other games, such as like Fortnite and stuff like that. So it makes sense for I do agree with Rob that the cost is fine to some degree, but it is scummy. The practice itself is scummy, right?
Yeah, because it's making you, like we said, it's making you buy more than you wanted. So if you just want one, let me just buy one, not four. So, it is what it is. It used to be that way in the past, but again, you could use those coins that were in Xbox to buy other things other than what was just in Street Fighter. Yeah. Did you have another thing to recap?
Yes, we actually had the poll that we did on Twitch. So on Twitter, let me pull that up real quick. We had a poll for, let's see if I can see the replies, because we do so much, guys. But I have that up already. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Did you buy the Street Fighter 6 Outfit 3?
Oh.
Did you just buy it?
That sounds kind of the same. What results? I believe that's 25% yes. 75% actually said no.
Now, was that yes? That was on... Wait, wasn't that the 31% to the
Oh, that was last week. I'm sorry. My bad. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah, that was last week. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's in there. It was updated an hour ago. Yeah, so that's the update. I mean, pretty much the same type of takes. But I mean, hey, some people want to, some people don't. It's perfectly fine. Depending on how you want to. As we saw, Rob said he wanted the one from of Jamie. So I'm done with that. The Jamie one. There are some good outfits in there. They're very, how do I say, tempting is the word, especially that jury one. Yeah, I mean, that's the one everybody's probably gonna buy. If not the jury one, Chun-Li. Oh, Cammy. I forgot about Cammy. Yeah, Cammy was nice. Yeah, well, if you got the money, moving on,
you better get it. But yeah, so guys, of course, yeah. Well, we both saw it from different perspectives, right? You saw it while streaming, right?
Yes, I was streaming the Game Awards event. Do want to recap a little bit of what was going on there. And this is going to be a recap / introduction into something else. So first off, we do want to congratulate Street Fighter 6, for winning Fighting Game of the Year and also being nominated for quite a lot. They did get the nomination for Best Fighting Game alongside God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, and Pocket Bravery, and they won Best Fighting Game of the year. Congratulations to them. Definitely Mortal Kombat 1 was basically like next top tier competitor to actually win. I'm only saying that because I mean it is the other blockbuster game. Probably I think sold more copies than them, but who knows? I mean, it was fan voted, and they ended up winning. What can I say?
I don't think anything else would have won fan votes unless more kids played Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2. So no. If that would have sold well if the first one did well. So I think that would have probably broken this. It would have been like the Smash, right?
Yeah, if there was like a Nintendo licensed game up there, it probably would have won. But there was in a bunch of other categories, and that didn't win. But I think it had a couple wins. But good, congratulations to Baldur's Gate and Alan Wake for just swiping every award they could. But speaking of that, there was another. Fortnite, I think, won Best Ongoing Game. I don't recall.
Oh, sorry. I meant all the Hoyoverse games won everything. They were just winning stuff left and right.
Yeah, I did notice that too. Also, Street Fighter 6 was on sale, due to the celebration of the winning Best Fighting Game from the Game Awards. I believe it's still currently 34% off. I don't know if I can still look it up because I did already purchase the game. You know how when you go to Steam and you're like trying to buy something that you already bought and just says in the library. So go ahead and check that out. That could be on all major platforms that you get. However, remember there was a teaser that was sent to a lot of different content creators about Sega. Sega had a trailer at the Game Awards, which was just showcasing what they're working on, I guess upcoming titles. However, they sent it to FGC content creators, but didn't really say what they were going to send. I don't think Virtual Fighter wasn't teased. Streets of Rage was, but not Virtual Fighter. We had a tease of was it not Golden Axe? Is it Golden Axe? Or what's the one? Oh my gosh, what's the one game?
Are you talking about Jet Set Radio?
No, Jet Set Radio was obviously one of them, but
that was the go-to. Jet Set Radio was the sole for me.
You just looked away after that. You were like, ah!
Yeah, I didn't care anymore. I was like, Jet Set Radio.
Well, Streets of Rage, and Shinobi.
The Shinobi one I was kind of interested in too because I played it a lot for Sega Game Gear, so that's where I played Shinobi the most. So I mean, it's cool.
Golden.
Oh, Crazy Taxi. Nobody cares about that game.
I'm sorry.
It's not in the arcade.
Ended us all.
It's not in the arcade. If it's not in the arcade, well, I don't want to play it at home. Just being honest. That's the whole the immersion of being in the arcade and being in the car and it's moving and you're driving with the wheel. That's Crazy Taxi. This is Home Taxi. I don't want to play that. God, Jet Set Radio looks so good. It looks so good.
My dog, you've anyway, and more. Hopefully the and more is more of Virtual Fighter and or anything else that Sega can bring back.
Would they do Mortal Kombat?
To fighting games? No. Mortal Kombat's its own thing. Remember, it's Nether.
Yeah, but like, would they bring back MK1, like the original, or just MK, and just be like, oh, updated graphics but experience, right?
No. This seems more to be classic. This seems to be more Sega licensed games.
So we should see Sonic
from Sega. Well, Sega, I think Sonic is its own entity. Sonic is just doing Sonic things with Sega things added to it. Like I don't know. I mean, again, we can't really talk about an actual system, but like it's definitely looking like they're just teasing the best that they can do. I haven't gone ahead and brushed up on research into it. It was more like an announcement to me. It just says now in development. So
it felt like a cheesy cringe commercial, but once you saw the games, I felt like it was better, right? Because like we saw that there was updated graphics. It wasn't just a rehash like most remasters or just dropping of
revisitings. But again, it's Sega. Sega's hype. They've got honestly the games with the best music right now. So I just wish there was a little bit more of a teasing that came from what they sent to like other content creators like Maximilian Dude and even some of his friends got those envelopes. So for them to not actually have like a fighting game I guess, thing to go up was a little bit jarring, but that's okay. That means there's just still more things to come from Sega. Speaking of, by the way, we did get a trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm not too. Listen. It looks good. It looks great. It looks fun, but it also looks a bit like Raging Blast, and I was not a big fan of Raging Blast. I'm not a big fan of the over-the-shoulder. You play arena games, so you might be a bit more of a fan than I am for arena games in and of themselves. What do you think of the game? Is it too flashy?
No. I think this is what they've been aiming for years, and it just has failed. But you got to remember, we're not talking about the graphics, because people wanted to say Battle of God Z was really bad when it came to graphics, but the gameplay was just as bad, people felt. I actually felt they were trying to be creative, but the graphics were okay. I felt like Kakarot was a good game that gave you that, like, that was leading into this, right? So I feel like Sparking, the biggest thing with this is going to be, how do you make it visually appealing, which they've done, but how do you make the gameplay flow with that? Because we can't run it in 30 FPS. 60 FPS is still going to be pretty bad. I think they need to start thinking about breaking that barrier, but it looks good. It's just going to come down to the gameplay. Yeah. As an arena player, I don't want to play something that's repetitive. Like, I get the Naruto games. Those are repetitive. Those feel the same. No matter how many times you redrop them, they're still the same game, but they've added like little new things. I think this game is going to try to add little new things. We're seeing teleports into deflects, and we're seeing power-ups mid-match. Maybe that might be a thing, or it might just be a super. I would just like to make sure I'm not mashing my controller to death.
Yeah, or putting holes in your hands by spinning the analog stick or something.
Maybe commands. Yeah, commands would probably be better. Or rock, paper, scissors.
For me, I just don't want to have a problem with the camera angles and all. Like, I'll probably play it, but I'm not gonna buy it day one. There were no announcements for like Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or any type of like update to Dragon Ball Fighters. So did I say Fighter Z? I don't know. I'm all right. So I'm just not. The arena game thing, I didn't like Raging Blast because I literally could not see my opponent. I have no idea what was going on with the screen. I played Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3, but there was nothing. Like, once I started playing it competitive, or there was a friend of mine who was playing it too seriously at school, and then he like whooped me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not into that. I don't know what you're doing, and this is not a traditional fighting game to me. So yeah, I walked away from Tenkaichi. So with that being said, there was also one last trailer, specifically fighting game related, which was Guilty Gear Strive dropped a trailer for the Elphelt reveal. Now, we knew there was a patch coming, but they did send out a trailer, first just showing like they're backed by 25 years of franchise history, yada yada, 2.5 million players, and then, showing Johnny state-of-the-art 2.5D fighting game. They were sort of introducing it to the crowd that doesn't know Guilty Gear, and then they're like saying it's available now, and to those that have put their money into Guilty Gear and have played it for a while, they showed Elphelt trailer, and it was a bit of a short trailer that they showed, but then on the site itself they did release the full thing. If you didn't already know, for the past week it was already teased, not even teased, it was leaked, to the point that they just didn't even put on the replies onto the announcement that they had for the Game Awards. She's looking kind of cool, but I mean, she did release it later on that evening. But before moving on to the Elphelt trailer and even into more depth of content, there was an announcement during the Game Awards that the game will be getting a team of three-player team battle coming sometime next year. I don't know if that's going to be a Marvel versus Capcom style assist thing, or a Project L assist type deal, or if it's going to just be 6 people on the screen and destroying each other in some sort of fashion. I have no idea.
Or KOF
What
style.
do you think? What's your take? Yeah,
I think they're gonna have. I always hate this shit because, realistically speaking, I'm cool when people. I love when they do new content like this, but when you do team battle, please put actual emphasis on what you're doing for the team battle. Don't just do 3v3 and then be like, oh, it's like KOF, or they just fly in and then there's no real grounding to it, right? I do think they should probably either go the KOF route If they're not going to go to KOF route, go to Skullgirls route. That's probably the two best options, right? But they have a system for breaking, so that's fine. It works. But virtually, I just feel this is going to be one of those tough moments to decide. Do you just do team battle where everybody's on the screen? Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want it to be
that's dynamic. I don't think people are going to like it.
Right. I don't want it to be dynamic battle, and I also don't want to be what's it called? Yeah, dynamic battle is another one. I just don't want it to be a generic team battle thing that was like Street Fighter 4, where it's like Pokemon style. Like you said, KOF.
Oh yeah.
You know. But I mean, if they can keep it moving faster, because you know how long Guilty Gear can take in its matches as well. But again, it's up to conjecture. They did tease it 3v3. We did see dynamics for PS5 was teased once. I don't know if that's actually a thing. I don't have it for PS5. But we're going to jump into, eventually after this ad break, we're going to jump into more Elphelt information, introductions, and also even patch notes that did come with the Elphelt breakdown. So we'll see you right back here. Just hang tight and hold on those extra quarters, y'all. All right, and we're back. So, yeah, Elphelt. Have you been able to? What do you know about it? Because all I know is that Punk is out here just spamming overheads on people. If you
is that an infinite? It feels like an infinite. I don't know.
It's not an infinite,
but I don't think it is.
It's not an infinite, but people just.
It doesn't feel like an infinite, but it looked like, and I could tell. I was like, this didn't. No way in hell they made this character. It's just an infinite right off the bat. I was like,
you know what's funny?
This is the worst experience.
They actually showed that when they're showcasing the move in this introduction, they actually showed the move going over and over and over. So they definitely did sort of put Noelle into this game. If you've played Blaze Blue, and yeah, Noelle's in the game, y'all. Yay! So, her first move they showed is Miss Charlotte. And by the way, Elphelt was the previous character in. She was DLC also in Guilty Gear, Xrd, and then regularly in the rest of the games, obviously. So she's got a gun, obviously. She can use one, the pink one, to sort of go half screen and then home in, and then the blue one can sort of go again another part of the half screen and just a little bit stronger. I'm liking her move list, man. However, those Rekkas are going to be a pain in the butt to actually block. She's got the I guess you can call this Miss Charlotte out of repair, which is just a butt bomb to say the least. Yeah, dude, I'm scared, man. I was already initially like scared of the character. I thought she was gonna be worse. Like I thought her Xrd iteration was too scary. Like even with the bomb and the unblockables and the mix-ups, and I don't think she's as mix-up heavy in this, but I think things are just a bit slower. I haven't been able to touch her. I did see a Diaphone video and this introduction, so I have seen what is capable and what the move looks like, what's slow, what's not slow, what the pros and cons about it. But this bomb chocolate is basically the bomb, just without the whole timer situation happening. We'll get to that because there's a super that does have a timer situation, but this bomb chocolate sort of looks like what Johnny already has in the sense of his leap. This is chain lollipop though. And as you can see, they do show the Rekka. You can continue just the Rekka, keep going. But it is interruptible. But again, depending on if your character has a good interruption or not, then yeah, you're gonna have a bad time. What's your take on the Rekka chain lollipop, dude?
I love that they incorporated some. Yeah. I love that they incorporated her older moves into it. That's so annoying. So they have her shotgun, which is the nailed it, which is not really. It's different now because it's part of the Rekka, but it's not something that she can use freely like before, where she used to have like a few shots and she could do it like 4 or 5 times and bounce you off the wall. But I do like this the chains that she has. It's very interesting. I think it's cool. I think it makes her different and it makes her more stable than what she was before, with just using maybe 2 or 3 moves, where she was throwing a grenade and shooting you the whole time.
Yeah, sort of Happy Chaos. She had the lock on screen, like a Happy Chaos virtual cop type deal going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, like it was hard to aim, but it was cool.
I never knew. I mean, we should ask Lost Soul how he's gonna sort of fix how he's gonna play. I mean, I feel like Elphelt's playstyle before was pretty much what Happy Chaos was now, and I feel like Happy Chaos players were doing well with her. with Happy Chaos rather than with, of course, Elphelt before she was in this game. But why does she have two overheads is my question. It's it's rough, but eventually so that's her punch. Her punch variation goes into, I believe, up high, which is another overhead. Not that I believe, I know, I see it on my screen right here. The K variation goes into a double low, basically a guile type of double low. Yeah, man, what are you still feeling like you're gonna get hit in the blender?
If I came back to play this game, which I might, just because of Elphelt, and I really want to wait for Dizzy because I was hoping for Dizzy. This might be the move. This is kind of like the scary stuff that you want in a game. If you talk about playing a top tier character, this is already a top tier character. Like, I don't know if people are going to tell you otherwise, but she just looks like one. We'll obviously have to wait until after a tournament to see how it gauges and where she lands. But I definitely think some players are really they're having fun with her, and that's the biggest thing. And before, I don't think people had fun with Elphelt. They kind of just had to deal with Elphelt. I don't feel like they're having fun.
Well, here's the thing. So let's just go over the supers. She has the Huganto Parfeo, which is like it's a wake up super. It's a get off me tool, but apparently it is slow. Like, you can do like a fake jab into just blocking it. So you can basically you can bait it. But Bomb Ninier is the one that it's a command grab. She puts the bombs on you and then can mix you up, and then the bombs explode. So yeah, you're gonna have to hold a mix up after that one, which is pretty cool. Again, I don't know what other shenanigans you can get off of that if she has like full bar. That's the scariest part, like sort of like what we're seeing on screen, where she just brings you from the middle screen to the wall, and you can already go through the wall or break the glass. All right, so my take, by the way, I don't think people are just going to play her because of, oh, she was in the game, she was my former main, oh, she was this, I want to just like try her out and she's maybe broken. No, she's been fully redesigned as like a baby metal character, and I saw her outro, which was in the trailer. It's pretty wild. Like, she just screams into the mic like a straight up like a roar. What's that called when you're doing like a metal roar or like a metal scream, a death metal scream? It's just raw,
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's cool that they went a different route with her. Like, they're really trying to embrace the music side of it a little bit more, which I feel like they should have been doing. I like that she has like these interactions with like but man, they just gotta keep doing more. They gotta not slack on the concept of doing something creative and being willing to revamp. We're seeing this with other esports games too, so I really would love to see them keep venturing off, trying new things. That's why we have these new characters that play different. I hate that like some of the characters feel a little the same. I love that Elphelt just looks different, feels different. I want to play her more. I'm probably gonna like sit down and play her this week if I have time. They needed a new character.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, because Bridget was kind of like a new character, so to speak, but then they noticed how bad she was and they had to like revamp her, and that was a little interesting because now she's one of the best in the game. And then Sin was also go ahead.
Sin was kind of revamped, but he still kind of plays the same.
Oh no. Sin is still playing the same because he's baitable and his DPs and all that. He's very straightforward. So I guess the newer players would go gravitate straight over to him. He's been out already over a year.
I feel like Testament was a good example of a character that got remade that was really interesting for a remake, but still kept some theme.
Oh, you mean in that sense? But I'm saying like Testament was brought in and then sucked, but then got better and has gotten better and has gotten even more better. And you see, we're going to actually talk about NEC and the results. Idom was already been just playing that character, and we've been talking about how Idom gravitates to, he played Eno, then Testament. He's been gravitating to characters that are sort of like puzzles that you have to figure out, and sort of like Laura and all those characters. So Testament is one of those anomalies that just had to, again, sort of figure out and get there. So Elphelt, I don't think is going to be that way. I think she's going to be like the safe sort of nutty character. Like, it's not going to be like, yeah, you can do those overheads, but people that are going to be jabby happy, she's going to read them and then hit them with a counter hit. So it's going to be interesting where the character is going to go. I love the creativity as well. I think she's very flashy, very comical, and she's not as annoying. She doesn't look as annoying as she was in the last game, where it was just like this character is just destroying my fun in this game, but it doesn't look that way.
So with that being said, we're actually going to bring in real quick, just for you guys, question of the week, which is going to be, now that Elphelt is officially dropped, are you going to be jumping back into playing her? And does she change with her style, does she change the landscape of where Arxis should drive their games? What do you think about that? And for our poll, of course, so still keeping it followed on Guilty Gear, because I feel like that's really important. With Elphelt being officially released, are you going back to play her or not?
Or can I add a little bit to that?
Yeah, sure.
Or are the patch notes, which we're about to cover, or will the patch notes also push you to try something newer? If I can put that in the poll, can I add that in the polls?
Yeah, no, we could add that. All right, cool. 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
Yeah,
2 for 1.
Yeah, because we do have actually characters that have new moves for some reason. They were like, patch notes add new moves. We're not even going to call the game like Guilty Gear Strive Plus or something. So yeah, you can audible whatever or fix however you want. Call them audible however you want to spell it out. We're not going to go through all the details of each character, by the way. But I guess we can just talk about some of our little mains here and there. However, I do want to touch a little bit on the Wild Assault change. So as you know, Wild Assault was definitely something that you could just cancel straight off of a move or off of a button. And then it also was, when it was used on the wall splat, you can actually get the positive bonus and a hard knockdown off of that. So that was kind of OD from like any part of the screen, in my opinion, almost. So Wild Assault, on hit or guard, Wild Assault depletes less of the opponent's burst gauge now, and the amount depleted remains the same for both the standard and the charge versions of Wild Assault. The player now needs to keep their combo on hit short when, I think that was a mistranslation, when using Wild Assault as a countermeasure against Psych Burst. So there's Red Wild Assault, which is fast startup, works well in combos. Blue Wild Assault puts opponent in guard crush when blocked, leaving player at an advantage. White Wild Assault moves with invincibility. I haven't looked into this yet because I had to keep my knowledge before, like NEC was on the previous patch, so I had to keep my knowledge intact, even though I went 0-2. I had to keep my knowledge intact for NEC, so I haven't been able to see what this actually does as of yet, but I'm sure with the week going on, we're going to be checking it out. We do want to look at some of these changes, though, with each of these characters. Hold on. I just saw one that said changes affecting all characters. Crouching K. Previously, Crouching K could easily trigger clashes, similar to other jabs such as Standing P. Crouching K now follows the same clash conditions as Standing K, making it less likely to trigger a clash. This change makes it common for 2 crouching light kicks attacks to clash, which led to a situation where the character with the faster sweep would win the interaction.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
Yeah,
I think that's a good change. But going back to the assaults, you know what this reminds me of? This just reminds me of Red, like RCing, like where you do like the perfect RCing, where you're getting like a yellow RC and then red RC, where it either takes 50% or it takes 25%. This kind of reminds me of like that type of system, but they're using something different in placement. And I do like that they're being creative about the system itself and updating it and improving it. That's something we don't see fighting games do nowadays, and I'm glad they're doing this. It's a good change of pace.
Yeah, no, I think it's good for it's very healthy for for a game to actually know exactly what is wrong or right with their own game, like you said, and it doesn't have to be tone deaf. Obviously, I don't think there's been a time where I'm just like, why? Only once. And that's with Eno, because they don't give her a good HCL. And speaking of Eno, let's go right down to there. Although so they changed that new move, that agitato move. They changed it to make her leap faster. But it's not a big change. It's not a huge change. It says, although the startup for the move remains unchanged, Eno now leaps up faster. As Eno remains midair longer in between leaping and attacking, hitting, it is easier for the opponent to react. The hitbox position has been adjusted to be a higher elevation, making it easier to counter with moves such as 6B. So it's basically a nerf, I guess, so that it can't really be comboed into, or I guess on block. I guess you can move in between. Something that has to be a little bit tested with a little bit more love. Anybody else you were looking into?
I actually haven't looked because like I said, if I was to come back to this game, I don't think I would touch Milia. I think I would just go straight to Elphelt. Elphelt looks like she's the type of character I would want to play this time around. So I'm more intrigued by her than most of the cast, because most of the cast isn't going to change too drastically, I feel. I feel like if they change, it's just going to be in frame data, really, or something moving faster or slower.
So you said Amelia, I can just real quick, jumping HS decreased horizontal blowback distance. So that's her double mace hair move. Miraz, that's quarter circle back kick. Added the following amplified commands during the move. So that's the roll, I believe.
Yeah, that is the roll.
So added the following simplified commands during the move: back punch to Iron Savior, forward S to Tandem Top S version, back S to Lust Shaker, and forward HS to Tandem Top. So let me see.
I guess that's to make it easier. It sounds like to make it easier than now doing it.
Oh, so that you don't have to cancel with just the move. You just do the motion. You do the direction. Yeah. So that's smart. I mean, like I said, I don't feel like that's gonna make me go back to her. Like, those are little, like, that's like quality of life stuff that should have been in the game to begin with. But hey, who knows? I might enjoy it more because now it's easier. Of course, her, double mace hair, JHS, is going to be easier to now probably mix. But I don't know. It could be worse because now it's keeping them a little bit closer. I don't know yet until I play it. But I'll give her a try. But I still think Elphelt's the route. Yeah, there are a couple more characters that did get a bunch of changes, such as like Testament. Bridget has some things, a couple paragraphs there. Asuka has a lot of paragraph stuff there. A lot of people are just realizing what's going on with the character. And even Johnny has a different dash. Actually, he can jump cancel out of his dash instead of just like using the dash and just standing there, sort of like a hop character in like Marvel. He just has a hop. He doesn't have a run like everybody else where he can just stop moving. So it can now jump cancel it, so maybe that can make things a little bit safer. He can jump cancel a little bit earlier while he's doing that, and then jump FD. So that's pretty cool. I figured that's something I might take advantage of. Miss Finer, decrease horizontal blowback, so you can combo after. Decrease horizontal blowback on the one after the ground bounce, and the S version in the air. And the turn up, that's the card. There's a couple issues fixing there. All in all, it's not the biggest patch. Axel and Potemkin did get a move change, or actually a move added. Soul got a bit of a nerf, I heard from other people, but these are definitely something that you want to look into before you actually get back into the game, especially if you don't know that Wild Assault changes. You may want to check those out as well. Any other coverage that you saw that you wanted to maybe cover in this patch?
Not really. Like I said, I'm waiting for the 3v3 because that's kind of what piqued my most interest. So until they kind of announce more information on that, I'm kind of like, let's just play Elphelt.
Sure. No, I get it. Yeah, let's scream into microphones. All right. Okay. So next up, we do have trailers that did drop before the Game Awards, which we'll start with Dragonuv trailer for Tekken 8. The silent solid snake crawling dude that looks into the camera sometimes. He was obviously we already seen that he was in the game, but we didn't get to see any sort of footage of him other than just maybe a blip on the screen. They just started the trailer straight out of the gate with the forward 3, I believe. What's it called? It's like, I don't know exactly what the move is called, but he does the
You're talking about the overhead,
the perfect frame overhead. Yeah, the perfect frame jump, running punch. I wonder if it's still perfect frames. I mean,
running 3 basically. I'm running 2.
Yeah.
Running 3 or 2.
Yeah.
It's 3 and 4 are the kicks, so it's 2, right?
It's
running 2.
Triangle.
Yeah.
We're gonna call it triangle.
Yes, running 2.
That button. That's the one.
Running
right
2. It had because of the special particles. I think it had armor this time around.
Oh, he has armor moves. He's always had armor moves for some reason.
I think it always had. No, it didn't have armor before. I'm pretty sure.
No, not that button. But well, remember it's also his drive whatever that. What's the blue one? That's his in that game in Tekken 7. Rage Art or Rage Drive. His Rage Drive was that move. So if there was some armor in there, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. So yeah, he had the sweep back. Yeah, this dude, he's looking back into great form. I'm sure JDCR will be so happy.
Yeah, that was a new kick though. I've never seen that kick, the green kick that he did. So it was like something 4 probably.
Yeah,
but he looks really solid.
That's what I'm saying. He looks the same, and like nothing's changed. He still has his command grabs setups. He had the punch command grab. He still has that crouching 2, if you saw that there, that pretty fast house sweep type of punch going on. And he's got the old, dare I say, what's this super? What do you call this super? That's just the double axe handle. The top rope.
The most, I'm sorry, it's the most basic shit ever.
Yeah, but
it kind of works for him.
Yeah, I do like this character. He was the character I wanted to learn. When I was getting into Tekken 7. Fu did teach me, my buddy Fu. He did teach me like all of the works through how to sort of use him, and then you just learn all the moves, sort of get the rundown on everything. Sort of like the kick command grab, it's a low, and then the crouching one. You can watch like JDCR and how he plays him. I'm not gonna start playing him as much as he is and how good as he is with him, but Dragonuv I think he's been in the game since what, 5 Dark Resurrection, right?
Yeah, 5 should be. I reckon.
So I mean
5 again. I'm pretty sure it's 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah, I got it.
Not 4.
Okay.
5. Yeah, because I played him quite a bit, and I actually like playing him in 7 a lot. He's bad now, but he's okay. He's not great, but I would love to play him in 8. I think he's really cool, but he has like this little cartoony look to him a little bit. Like he looks a little cell shaded, almost like he's in a cartoon. So I'm kind of curious if that was just by accident or that was on purpose.
Maybe just the cutscenes in and of itself. Yeah, they just showed you all the like key moves of his, like the launch. It's such a good trailer, especially since I'm a little bit more this time around. I'm a bit more how do I say, familiar. That's the word. Sorry, familiar with the character, and obviously he also has a cutscene with and it might be one of those intros we were talking about with what's his name, Vincent? I don't want to say it wrong.
Victor.
Thank you.
Who's very basic name.
Sorry, I'm still recovering from watching the Final Fantasy VII trailer, but yeah, the Victor interaction is pretty cool. I can't wait to see what other character interactions we get.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's Tekken 7. That's Dragonuv. He is back. He is ready to sneak into Codec and reveal that he's Liquid Snake all over again. All right. No, it is not Master Miller. Calm down, yo. We're gonna run into. We did get another trailer last week. Man, we were full of trailers even before the Game Awards of Kuon and Uni 2. I did watch some other like informative video. Yeah, Kuon, right? Is it Kuon or Kuon?
Kuon.
Kuon?
Like Kuon. You
gotta educate me on this then.
Kuon.
Go ahead.
Not Kuon, but
go ahead.
Kuon.
No, you know his name. I don't know him enough then.
I mean, no, I don't know. I don't know if you do or no. He's not out yet. We didn't get to play him during the beta. I'm sad. That's the reason why I didn't really touch the beta that much. Kuon, I don't know the story or lore because I'm not hardcore Uni. Do you?
No, I know this much. I know a little bit. I know a tiny bit. So the reason is that there was another video that was like linked to this video, and it wasn't even like, it was just like a recommended, where the dude is sort of like, oh yeah, apparently this is Linnea's brother. I'm like, oh, it is. And then but then he's like, yeah, and then he has other moves that sort of look like Seth's, and I'm like, that sort of looks like Hyde's sword move, but okay, whatever. You see the Hyde sort of spin? So I'm like, is he related to Hyde? Well, apparently he made his first appearance in the first game, but he was not playable.
Yes, he was in the story.
There you go. So that's pretty cool. But he's got also New 13, which is from another Blaze Blue character, made it into another game, right? No, he's got like New 13 type style of moves. He looks kind of cool. Somebody I would play. I'm sorry I played villains, right? What can I say?
He also has the Batista look to him too, because Batista has the blades in the back and she does a lot of multi hits as well.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, this is the character I've been waiting for. So this is who I want to play. I think he's super cool, but I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not the best at Under Night. I just enjoy it. I love commentating it, but this character is really cool. I think he's literally a boss character who uses other people's moves in a sense. Like the spinning blade, it looks like Hyde's, but to me, it's more Carmine's. He's throwing the blood out, but it's not blood. And he has the Batista spin.
Juice? Like, what do you mean it's not blood?
Did you say is it juice? It's blood. Yeah. Blood. That's not blood. I don't know what that is. Probably demon blood, sure.
Yeah. I'm just messing with
you. It's juice.
Yeah. But he also has this sort of like, there's a little bit of Carmine. I feel like, definitely the Carmine vibes. I hope it doesn't take away his own health. But as you saw, he was fighting Linné there, so maybe there is more character connected to Linné. He's got a death ball going on.
Yeah, he had gravity squeeze.
Yeah, if he's not a villain, then I don't know what is. But I'm hyped for Under Night in Birth. I'm sorry, Uni 2. So whatever.
There you go.
Their titles are like extra long for some apparent reason.
Just Uni 2. Just Uni 2. Don't hurt yourself.
Even they titled it as Uni 2 on their Twitter and stuff.
Because they don't want to hurt themselves. Look at this name. Under Night in Birth System says. Well, yeah, no.
What was... I'm not even going to ask you what you said, but the title of the video is literally like Uni 2, Kuon reveal trailer, Under Night in Birth 2, Sight Celeste. So you be the judge. All right. So that's a new character for Uni 2. Obviously, that's coming out on the 25th, the day right before Tekken 8. I'm sure. I wonder if that's going to be... Is that one of the options to play at Frosty's? You said you're heading there.
Oh, for me? No, it is one of the options. Yes.
Okay.
Well, they're gonna have it. You'll be able to play it. You're gonna be able to play it, obviously, because people are gonna get it earlier than day one release. But yes, it is gonna be one of the games that are gonna be playable there. They're not playing the original Uni. They're playing.
Well, I believe Frosty's is that weekend. So, or the day after, or a couple days after. So, definitely go ahead and give that a check out. I'm sure
it is literally that weekend. That is, it literally starts the 25th to the 28th. All right. Or 26th to 28th.
Let's see here. So quick reminders before we get into the next break here. Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising pre-release. I believe it's not relieved. Let me stop believing because I can confirm for you right now. The deluxe edition on its website is $75. And that is what is actually going to be giving you. Hold on. That's going to be giving you the main thing I want to bring up here is that up to 72 hours of early access. So that starts today, the 11th. We're recording this on the 11th to be released for the 12th. The game initially comes out again the 14th. That's later on this week. But if you get the deluxe edition, you can already be playing it. Right now, Diaphone is actually streaming it and working on it, and he's like showing like the guides through all the characters. He already has a guide released out on his YouTube. He's a former guest on this show. Go ahead and give him a check out. Check his YouTube out and let him know that we sent you or something. I don't know, but he's got the whole list of like the guides that you're looking in, that you're probably gonna look for when you're getting into this game. The game is still $50. If you want to pre-order it and wait until that other day of the 14th, by all means. I mean, you've waited the whole month and you thought the game was going to be out last month, right? But also there is a free version. It says here on their website, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising game online play is available across all editions, and you will be able to transfer your save data if you upgrade to another edition. Some features are unavailable in the free edition. Go ahead and check out on that website. If you click on free details, it takes you to all the list of stuff that you can get with the standard and the free edition. I mean, what else can I say? I feel like they're doing the best with their game right now, especially in the sense of being a bit more self-aware. They knew that their previous game was never discounted, so they went ahead and just said, hey, you can buy our game for $50. New game. Do it. I don't. What else am I saying?
Might as well.
Like, I'm not telling you to do it.
So
do
much
it if
content.
you want to play it. They're telling you
so much
just
content.
here. Exactly. Yeah, they've improved, I feel.
Improved is an understatement. They've done so much over the course of the past like year and a half.
Is there a higher word than improved?
Elevated.
They've elevated their improvements. Deluxe early edition is today. Also, Dragon Ball FighterZ online rollback actually ends today, December 11th. That was the last day of it. I don't know if it's like done like 12:59 or 12:01 this morning, or if it's 11:59 this evening, but it is actually done for today. So for those of you that were watching on Twitch with us, then go ahead and get your last fixes in. Those of you that watch us after today, well, I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know how you enjoyed that, however best way possible. With that being said, is it break time?
Yeah, it's break time.
It's break time. All right. So we'll be right back with a couple more stories headed in there. So hold on to a couple more of your quarters and we'll be right back. All right.
I feel like one of these times we just have to, like, when we go on break time, I feel like we have to come back with like cheese and crackers or something like that. Like, I feel like that's the perfect break snack. As he drinks.
I had a cup, but not
what a guy.
Not cheese and crackers. I mean, maybe I should use more of my holiday cup. Here you go. Bam. For those that are
you just
viewing
got two different
us on
teas?
Twitch. No, I just left this coffee here the other day.
Okay.
No, I literally left the coffee here. It's all good. But that was just the reward for those of you that are watching. I've got 2 cups sitting here. No worries. Meza, was this a story you were bringing up, by the way, this next one? About Capcom and Street Fighter and their mods?
I believe that was put on the list.
Okay, so then it might have been another one. However, it is a super important information. So very quickly, if you are playing with mods, apparently there is a there is a YouTube user by the name of Santa Rad who claims that there's important information. Capcom is now striking YouTube videos if you have mods installed in their games. This was shown to me by another creator who detailed their experience. Single or multi, it doesn't matter. The product you own must comply to Capcom's own policy or you risk losing your channel. It looks to be, so this looked to be in a different language. So, okay, there's a thread actually. It says, I have also received reports of another popular channel receiving 2 strikes for this, but I'm waiting for confirmation from them. This is, okay, that now he gets into opinionated about it being unacceptable. Capcom is willingly to copyright strike any of your videos if you are using any mods or emulators. The reasoning is due to internal policy. So now they're going into editorializing instead of editorializing.
So I could talk a little bit about this actually, because this is something that we talked about before, where Capcom kind of stated we love mods, but we don't want to affect mods. But now they're affecting mods by you not being able to post it on YouTube, because it technically does affect the guidelines of their TOS, which is you're not playing the game in the standard format where you would want to showcase it to people. So let's say I decided to make this custom, backyard mod that goes into the background for the stage, and then it goes on YouTube, and somebody's like, oh, that's a really cool stage. How do I get that? And they end up buying a PS5, and they go to play the game, it's not there. They sell back the game, it looks really bad on the game, or they send a bad review for Capcom or something like that, right? So what that does is essentially they're affecting the landscape of fighting games more by almost misconstruing what content's in the game and what's not. And Capcom wants people to pretty much put out the information that is accurate to what their game is. So I kind of get that aspect, but it does kind of hurt the modders, and this is what we talked about, I think about a few episodes ago on like 348 or so, 347. So this is where we're kind of going to come to a crossroads where it's going to be Capcom versus the modders, because it's not even Capcom versus the modders, it's Capcom versus modders versus YouTubers versus Twitch streamers, or just streamers in general, because now they're going to have to band together and figure out, okay, well, if they stop YouTubers from posting content and they're getting copyright striked, which it only takes 3. If you got 3 videos up, that's 3 copyright strikes. Guess what? It's gone. Yeah. Your whole anything monetization wise, anything that was your YouTube channel, gone. So I think it's kind of scary for them to do that. And it's like, well, what happens when they start attacking Twitch streamers who are just casually having fun with it? Maybe don't upload that way, but upload the videos outside of that.
Yeah, like
then sorry,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say this one last thing, and then also the groups that are capitalizing off of stealing people's content already, they're stealing it and they're not even using their footage, right? They're using other kinds of footage, which might not even have those mods on it. So now they're getting monetization for what a streamer should have gotten, or a YouTuber.
Yeah, it definitely seems that it's not written like, how do I say, pretty, how do I say, I don't know how to say it. I guess it's not clear, maybe to this YouTuber. Maybe they did something else, but then it says it's telling you who it's copywritten link or copywritten by. It says something about Monster Hunter.
Vague.
Yeah, my bad, vague. Yeah. So yeah, it's Capcom is just being vague.
Yeah, no, you're right. He's not wrong. Yeah. It's vague.
Just a voice in my head. I don't know. Told me.
It does feel that they could have maybe. Well, I mean, this is how YouTube works. Let's be real. They've never put information. They say they always email information, same like Twitch does. Sometimes it's not super accurate. So I've seen it. I don't know if it's changed, but I've seen it in the past where you violate something. They'll tell you, oh, you violated certain thing, but they don't go into detail, right? Because that's what people want. Maybe on the partnered people side, they get more details because they have a manager for that. But I would imagine if you're a smaller YouTuber, you're not going to probably get the full direct details like you want. I don't know.
Oh, and I don't know if the person who did it was actually like maybe a Capcom partner. Because you remember when they did those Capcom partner applications? Like if you are and you're getting stuff mailed to you, then you can't really have those mods. You have to know better, so to speak. So that's definitely something that you'd have to be more aware of. Or maybe you're just not doing something right. And granted, yes, it is your game that you bought and you can mod it however you want to. It could have been even during an event. Like I said, we had the major issue of that Chun-Li mod that went wrong during a tournament where somebody didn't turn off the mod. And that's definitely a big issue that did come up. Or that has come up in the past. Now, was that the case with the person's video? I don't know.
Also, you got to remember, I didn't see the video. I don't think any of us could see the video. I don't know if it's available, but if it's an online match or anything online, those rules are different than me physically buying the copy, right? And then altering what I can see versus online, because there's a different set of rules. So, because once you hit that accept button in the game, there's certain rules for when you go online, right? Because you'll go online and be like, do you accept these rules for online as well? Which then that changes the whole dynamic and what they're signing an agreement to, which we've done this before, whether you play Monster Hunter World or you play, let's say Resident Evil Remake online. I'm pretty sure, like, mercenary mode, you're gonna get different rule sets than when you play the game separately, solo.
And there's plenty of mods out there for Resident Evil 8, where they're like changing Lady Dimitrescu like crazy. So like if they're taking this account into just for Chun-Li and like, or any particular characters in Street Fighter, why are they taking this into account for that? So this could be something very fishy, or maybe even an incorrect claim, which we've seen plenty of times from YouTube and or just YouTube in general being like an algorithm robotic mess up, and putting a claim out there. You can definitely fight it. I would recommend they do, unless they actually broke an actual rule. So again, the vague parts of this is still vague. So it's definitely something we're going to look forward to. We'll definitely bring you an update if that does come by, especially considering that we've got videos that we might show our favorite mods, or we even see on streams people are just having Majin Buu as E Honda, and it's like, is that going to get copyright stricken off of Twitch or even off of their YouTube? Who knows? But as we stated earlier, this weekend we did I know your roommate was there with me. I was there at NEC this weekend. Big E was teasing that this might be his last event. Apparently not so, but still, it was definitely on the verge of not having any more events. If you have been on Twitter in the last couple of months, you did notice there may have been a lot of back and forth going on, but also at the last event, he did state that it was going to be maybe his last event. So he did want to throw it out there with a bang and get as much as as much of not notoriety, but he did want to sort of make his biggest efforts into this event. I will tell you that the event had its ups and or downs, but at the same time, it was still very refreshing to see the people that were there be there. There a lot of like OG competitors came out. There wasn't a high attendance, I don't believe, but there was still just enough of a presence of mind of older players that I've recognized, newer players that I've seen. There's a lot of still Street Fighter interest, and a lot of different other games that are getting interested there. How was it for you if you were viewing it? I don't know if you saw or you.
Yeah, I did watch a little bit. I watched a little bit. It was okay. I mean, I can't really wholeheartedly tell you it's like great like it used to be, but it was still like the matches were fun to watch for whoever. I enjoyed, the players being comical. So I got to see, competitor, not be on stage as competitor. It was actually Furious Pillow, and then competitor came on stage and there was like, "Oh, you're not me," and he's like, "Oh, here's your hat." So like, I've seen there was some cool stuff there, man. There was a lot of cool stuff happening. I know you were. I don't know.
You're being as vague as Capcom. I don't know. No stuff.
It was for Mortal Kombat, but I'm saying it wasn't anything special about the event that made me go like, "Oh man, I love this event. I can't wait to watch it again." I was just like, "Oh, it's just another event." Okay. So the matches were good. For DNF Duel, for Mortal Kombat. Other than that, I didn't really get to watch other stuff. Those are the kind of like two main things I watched. I was like, "Oh, this is fun." But
usually there's about 3 or 4 streams that are happening at the same time at the event. Usually a lot of majors do have about 5 streams happening. This year there were only 3. There was Funky P and Shadow Royalty Live, and also
Combat Network.
Yes, Combat Network was the other one that had Mortal Kombat on the back the entire time. And also they ran the Uno bracket on there as well. That was pretty funny. Biggie was on commentary and playing at the same time, and he got mad that he lost the cam. It was very funny stuff. They're playing on stream with jumbo cards, so you can see like their hands and the cards on the table as well. So that was I didn't get to watch it, but I might just watch it just for the memes and for the hilarity. Mm-hmm. And then there was also apparently Mario Kart was happening too. But yeah, so do want to shout out. I stuck around. Now I asked you how it was for viewing at home, but I stuck around. I played in Strive, Tekken 7. Not Tekken 7. That's a lie. That's just the top 4 games. I played in Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter 6, and Guilty Gear Strive, and of course Ultimate Marvel 3. Shout outs to Conceited, who got first. He is an OG Philly head of 3. Justin Wong was there. He did commentary for Marvel and for Street Fighter 6 alongside with Yipes, and Yipes was there as well.
He didn't win like 6 games. It's kind of crazy.
Justin did not. He won Street Fighter 3 and got second in Marvel 2 to Magnetro. Got first in Ultimate Street Fighter 4 and first in CVS 2. And to be honest, I think that Big E is running too many games. I'll be honest, only because they can get in the way of other games. So I don't even think that was a full list, but the list is there, and it is a long list. I think you can only enter up to 4 though. Idom did end up winning Street Fighter 6 and Guilty Gear Strive, and he got second in Marvel 3 as well. He lost to Conceited, but beat Young Hot and Boog in there as well. Let me see any other notables. Mortal Kombat was pretty cool, and at the end of Mortal Kombat, beginning of Street Fighter 6, they did do a tribute to older players that have passed throughout the year. Throughout this year, as we know, we lost our good friend 10 Star as well, and also he did tribute to, and 10 Star's mom was there on stream, and she was there just to they were going to give him a reward, but it didn't come in time, so they're going to set that up for Winter Brawl. And also he did shout out to Flo. Flo was definitely a player that would come out regularly to NEC in the heydays of Street Fighter 4.
Marvel.
Yeah, and Marvel, Street Fighter 4.
It was good times back then.
Yeah, definitely at the Sheridan, where everybody's just on balconies making a ruckus through the whole night. The legendary, the legendary Sheridan. I recommend, if you haven't already, like, I just want to gush about like the start of like NECs and Winter Brawl Summer Gyms. Just like the start of those events, they were something else. Like there was no pro tours or anything like that. It was just like homies getting together, getting a lot of games in, because there wasn't online play for every game we were playing at that time. So you definitely were learning a lot more in those days in particular games in and of themselves. And it was just refreshing to you know, Big E did talk about how his health in this last year, and it was definitely quite shocking. He's had a history of strokes that he made it quite presently known. And you know, him being like a dad to the FGC, you know, he's very transparent online. He hasn't been having the best type of publicity as of late, but I still feel as though I want to support him as best as I can, because he is like the blueprint. And you can't ever, I just want to say, you know, the blueprint that he made for the FGC, I feel as the East Coast, is something that at least be, you know, sort of grateful for, in my opinion. And I definitely want to continue to support the best way that I can possible, because I feel as though there are holes that I can help fix in that sense. I'm not trying to say that I'm like the best TO or the best bracket runner, but I do want to sort of help out with the knowledge and the amount of stuff that I have already seen just from being at his events and other events. So shout outs to his event, how it went this weekend. There were a little bit of bumps, if you already know about sort of what happened with KOF, but at the same time, he's already addressed that situation. So I'm sure moving forward is going to be definitely a change in that as well. But all in all, I thought it was successful.
I will always say this. Go back to, if you really want to make these events good again, go back to the grassroots for one year or for one tournament. Forget all the sponsorships, focus on the people, focus on like how he did. I won't say I didn't want to go, but NEC, I was kind of inclined to go because I was like, oh, this is going to be his last one. And then I was like, kind of like, I feel like he kind of got me, right? But I was down to support, and I still am down to support, but like start it over, man. You know, give it a fresh new look. But start with the people again. That's why I came out, right? I mean, that's how I met all the great people that I met and spent time with all the great people. But you can't get that experience anymore if we're coming out and we're just playing for world tours, right? But it also starts with the people. So I think us as players, I don't want to play for a world tour. I want to play the game. I did it for the last NEC that I came out for. I got top 8 for DNF Duel. I didn't complain. I was just like, I had a good time. You know what I mean? It wasn't like how they used to be, but we do need to start going back that way, because at this rate, it's almost like the bang for your buck. You might as well just go to every other big tournament, right? And I don't want to say that, but that's the truth. And I hope that he can find the grounding again. I really do, because that's what, from NEC to Winter Brawl to April Annihilation to going to TFC, Civil War, anything on the East Coast, that was started with going to these events for Big E. And I saw him at every event, but I just don't feel like it's the same. And I hope that we can get back to that point where these events can do that.
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly agree. No, you're 100% right.
I do love it. We've done this for what, 13 years?
Dude,
plus
2011 Marvel 3. Yeah, I've been doing it since
2010. 2009 for us, technically 2009.
No, Super Street Fighter 4 for me. I turned 21. Maybe it was 2011. It was like it was like 2010ish 11 for So like, I mean, it's around 13, almost 14 years for us. I know some of you guys might be listening to us and hearing us like kind of rant a little bit, but truth be told, this is kind of where it started. You know, we met some of the OG players and they wanted us to pass it down, and that's what we were going to do. And I may not be super like event heavy as I used to be, where I traveled everywhere all the time, like with Gabe and everybody else and my brother and stuff like that. But realistically, we're at a point where the landscape is changing, and I hope the TOs see that you have to change with the landscape. Even if you tag yourself onto another, company to make it a little bit easier. And I hope that, we can see Big E make that return, and also with his health getting a little bit better, I would imagine, to start, relieving some of that stress, man. Get rid of some of these tours and just focus on the real stuff. Focus on bringing in the players again. Work with ECT
and really see what their formula is and see how you can adjust to that too. I don't know. That's what I think.
I believe what you're looking for is community first. And
yeah,
dare I say, I'm going to say it. And dare I say it, community first, profit later.
Yeah. You put so much, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. You put so much into Soul Calibur, put it into everything else.
And then if Winter Brawl is going to be Winter Brawl 3D, just keep it to 3D games. Don't add anything else for the numbers. Don't add anything else for just attendance value. And the people that will show. Even people that play Marvel will just show just because it's a spectator event, or even just to play Marvel with Marvel heads. Like, just let the event speak for itself once you put down the registrants. So that's my take on it. I believe there are things that can be taken. There are some people on his staff that are definitely more valuable than others that it can just, and I mean like the staff that you see there, or like running brackets that can do more for some, and I definitely think there's a way up from the rest. This was definitely the start of the trip to the way back up for the event. I did, again, like what I saw. So with that being said, I think that is the end of our show. Anything else you got to add there, Meza?
No, I mean, I definitely would like to come back to Winter Brawl 3D. I mean, I have some games I want to play, so hopefully Chris, if not, I'll run it myself. Hopefully Chris Clash will be there. If not, I'll be the one running it and hopefully streaming it.
Hey, Tekken 8 is not gonna run itself, so
that's it. But guys, with that, you want me to do it? Okay.
It's all you. It's all good.
He's like, I did so much.
Land this helicopter.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for listening. We truly appreciate it. It is, I know it's been a long episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. Of course, you can check me out on Meza FGC on Twitter, back on Twitch, YouTube, and of course many other platforms that you can catch me on. Obviously, I'm going to be running stuff this weekend for DFO. So hopefully you guys will tune in on Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Static Gorilla, where can they catch you?
Yeah, Static Gorilla on all major platforms, which is basically just Twitch and or YouTube. It's just Static Gorilla, no space. Definitely trying to get into the content game as of late, but don't have any content to post. So eventually some things will be posted. I do want to check out Quan Chi later this week. That is another reminder. Quan Chi comes out this week. You want to check him out. He has a downward facing fireball, which I'm a little bit hyped about. So keep an eye out for that on Twitch as well.
And guys, of course, you can check out our additional podcasts, whether you want to through here just by listening to us, or even if you just go to the website, mashthosebuttons.com and do /shows. You can check out even more of the community there and listen to other podcasts. Don't forget, you can also comment and send us questions, because those totally help us a tremendous amount. And if you didn't get to hear the question of the day, make sure you jump into Discord, where you can actually read the question of the day and actually respond to that. And as well as go to our Twitter, where you can contact us on Twitter as DoubleTapFGC, where you can actually take part in the poll that we talked about earlier as well, which is going to be a yes or no poll. So you can just jump right in. You don't have to do too much, and give us your take if you feel like it in the comments. Of course, don't forget to share, guys, where you can absolutely support us by sharing it with friends, family, and of course many others who are interested in fighting games, if not fighting games, other things. Of course, make sure you rate the podcast on the platform of your choice, whether it be Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, whichever you guys choose to jump onto to support us. And of course, with anything being said, make sure you guys also stay tuned afterwards for Mash Those Buttons, other shows to stay tuned and hear more about. With that being said, guys, we are going to be done. That is going to be our episode 351. And thank you for listening. Have a good night or morning.